Okay, in this tutorial, I'm going to go over how to use state in your React Native application. I'm actually in Expo Snack here, which is Expo's web-based um, interface for using React Native, but you can apply these concepts to whatever environment you're using React Native in. So state is kind of like what you might consider a local variable in other languages. It's a very powerful tool, though, as you'll see. I'm just going to show you some basic use, but in further tutorials, I'll get into how you can really do some interesting things with it. So to use state, there's actually, you have to use the useState component that actually comes from React. Oh, and actually this needs to be in the French brackets there. So now that should compile just fine. So that comes in from React. And then, so the format for using this is right inside your function here. You're going to create your state variable, and we'll say constant, and then inside square brackets. Now I'm going to give the name here. I'm going to create a counter, so I'm just putting counter, and then the second parameter here. You have a comma, and you say set, and it's traditionally, you can actually put whatever you want, but traditionally you say set, and then whatever the name of your variable was over here, you capitalize that letter, and that's how you finish that. And so then we're going to make this equal to useState, which will not user state, but useState, and this will allow us to use this. And so then in the parentheses here, you can give the default or initial state of this variable. We're going to make it equal to 0 to start out with. Okay, then I'll put a semicolon at the end there, and so that looks great. And so we can actually create right now our SetCounter function, which looks like this, and then we want to add to it. So every time this gets called, we're going to add to our counter. And so so you're never supposed to change this variable on its own. Like, you're not supposed to do counter equals counter plus 1. Instead, you use your SetCounter function. And so that's great. It's not going to compile now because this SetCounter can't be standing alone. It's actually got to be in something. So we're going to create a button in a second that's going to, when clicked, call a function. And so let's just create that function, and we'll just call it clicked. And so no parameters, but we'll put our SetCounter inside here. And so every time that button is clicked, we will update our counter variable, counter state, if you will. And so, all right, so let's add, we're going to need, I did add the button here. So just another little thing about this. This is none, so I have some styling here, but none of that styling is necessary for what I'm showing you. It's just so this looks decent when I type in here. But otherwise, all you need is a view and some text to try this out. You don't have to include this styling. But I am going to use a button, so I've imported a button as well. And so let's go ahead and import a button. And I'm going to give it a title, and we'll just say, make it click me. And on press, which is the function you use to handle clicking of the button, and what we want to do is call that clicked function. So we just put clicked in there, and then we need to close this out. So that should be good. And so, but here's where we actually want to use this state. We want to display this to the screen. So actually, I'm sorry, this button should not be inside that text. Let's put it below there, and we'll put counter in here like that. And so that's showing there now. And if we want to show our state, we actually put it in these brackets, and we're just going to put counter right there. So that is, and there you go. There's your initial value is 0. And so now when I click this button, it increments. Perfect. So, I mean, I could create another button and, call this one click down. And I'll do this. I'm going to copy this and I'll say click down. And this one's going to be -1, right? And so let's actually change this to click down. And so now this increments and this decrements. Perfect. So that's it. That's the simple demonstration of how you can use state in your React Native application. Let me know if I have any questions. Thanks.